So with Draymond out, Looney with his first start and his first assignment is Karl Anthony Towns. Look at him hold his ground though. So fundamentally sound. Minnesota knew to test him early. This time he moves his feet and forces Towns into a tough shot. We get out in transition here. KD, as smooth as could be, started the game 3 of 3. Minnesota with so many athletes, probably the most athletic team in the league, but they shot a lot of threes. Look at this pass from Steph. The outlet, no dribble layup. And Thibodeau, man, Thibodeau was barking all night. You could hear him on the telecast. So early timeout for Minnesota so Tibbs could tighten the leash on his young Timberwolves. So right out of the timeout, they go right back to Towns on Looney. This time KD helps out, one of his 5 blocks on the night. Can you say MVP? Meanwhile, Klay was 3 of 3 early. Now I want to take a look at this play from Towns. It's one of those eye test plays where it's just like, okay, big fella. The pump fake and then a feathery jumper. The thing is, he's just not as aggressive as you would like. Now, take a look at Levine here. They got a lot of length. Look at him accelerate and finish this play. He's just such a smooth athlete, man. And he's really coming along. They kept noting his jump shot. But this was what I didn't like. Varejao getting in the first quarter. And Minnesota proceeded to go on a run right away. You see here is a bad turnover, and Varejao is no help in transition. Look at him struggling up and down the court. And a Levine again, who's just figuring out how to finish in many different ways. So Kerr with the timeout. I think it's interesting to note, though, about Zach LaVine is if you look at the history of players like him, guys that are just ultra athletes, they rarely reach their potential for whatever reason it may be. So it'll be interesting to see how he pans out. And Steph had a lot of buckets inside. The length and athleticism of Minnesota, they did a very good job of running him off the three-point line. And he did a good job of countering that and finishing around the hoop. Tough floater, probably an and one, could have been. But Minnesota takes the lead in the first quarter. Look at Wiggins. Durant doesn't want to come out on him. They know what he can do with the rim. More on that later. But he hits the three, and Minnesota has the lead. Now, Varejao played the whole 4 minutes of that first quarter, and then he threw that up. That was just stunning. The crowd erupted as if it was like a 30-footer. Second quarter, David West with his offensive foul. He has one a game. Every time he comes in the game, he commits an offensive foul, so he got that out of the way early. Take a listen here to Tibbs.
On both ends.
This dude is crazy. Look, Levine's laughing. Look at the crowd's laughing. Like, this motherfucker is nuts. We know in the past that long, athletic teams has kind of been our kryptonite. Well, in the past, we didn't have KD, and he carried us in the second quarter, man. They let him play, though. They were playing physical. It was nice to see the refs let him play. That could have been an and one, but it didn't matter. So he carried us in the second quarter, kept us even. And then you're going to see Looney here in a high pick and roll with a nice little shovel pass to JaVale, showing a little more skills than maybe we knew he had. So gaining a little momentum going into the half. Here's what they drew up. Steph with the ball. And Zhang is a great help defender. You see him shut that off. KD knows how much time is left. Big crossover, pulls up. Got him. So a dagger to end the half. And KD just taking over. Look at Steph, though. Steph kind of has a little grin like, yo, man, that's my shot, KD. Second half, Wolves were hanging around, and then this happened. My God. Now, if you listen to the crowd, you know, this actually worked to our benefit. I'm going to show it to you again. Warriors telecast didn't show it to y'all again because they're haters. But if you pay attention, this worked to our benefit because Steph in particular didn't like the crowd oohing and ahhing for an opposing player. And it really turned up our energy and gave us what we needed to put them away. Here we go. Even JaVale's energy got turned up after being embarrassed like that. They're running 3-on-2. Steph finishes, and Tibbs needs a timeout. Towns didn't show up in the second half, and he sounded like Batman. Where is he? Where is he? Now I'm going to give you a Shaq and the Fool before Shaq gives it to you. JaVale tries to shoulder charge. They pull the rug from him. You know that's going on, Shaqton. And you can tell the Warrior players feel for him because it's like they get the turnover here and Ig force feeds him the ball because it's like they want that off his mind. They want him. And look at him, a little behind the back pass there that was really just unnecessary. Minnesota kept it close in striking distance even late in the game. You see the turnover here. Steph in transition, and this was what you'd call the nail in the coffin. And we continue to roll. We got Atlanta coming to Oracle Monday night. I'm out, y'all.